The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
If you could raise your hand. The rules of the committee, which apply to all nominees, require that they be sworn in connection with their testimony. Raising your right hand, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give to the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. You may go ahead and be seated. Before you begin your statement, I'm going to ask you 3 questions addressed to each nominee before this committee. The first is, will you be available to appear before this committee and other congressional committees to represent departmental positions and respond to issues of concern to the Congress?
I will, Senator.
And are you aware of any personal holdings, investments, or interests that could constitute a conflict or create an appearance of such a conflict should you be confirmed and assume the office to which you will be nominated by the President? And are you involved or do you have any assets held in blind trusts?
I do not, Senator.
Then thank you, Governor Perry. You may proceed with your statement. Is your mic not on?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Already the committee is being wonderfully helpful and supportive here.
And I have found nothing but that during my time in each of your offices, so I want to thank you for your hospitality. But Madam Chairwoman Murkowski and I want to say to each of you my great thanks. Ranking Member Cantwell, thank you for your wisdom, your interaction. All the distinguished members of this committee, thank you for allowing me to come in and share with you, to let me listen to your concerns. It is a real honor for me to be here, to be President-elect Trump's nominee for the Secretary of Energy. As I said, this process has been extremely informative and beneficial for me. The individual discussions that we've had in your offices and in some cases over the phone afterwards have been most important. And I will suggest to you the most important aspect of this process for me. I especially want to thank Senator Murkowski, Senator Cantwell again. You both spoke passionately and very frankly about the priorities of this country and for the things that affect energy policy. You may be from different political parties, but as I noted during those meetings, what you have in common, and both of you talked passionately about energy development, about the safety, about the reliability of nuclear stockpile, the vital role of our national labs, critical importance of grid security, unique situations in each of your states. And I might add, both of them talked very passionately about those issues without the benefit of notes. You know well the challenges and the issues that are going to be facing the Secretary of Energy if I'm confirmed. Obviously, I look forward to working with each one of you. Before I go further, I want to recognize an individual that's already been recognized, but I want to add my very strong love and support to an individual that's been my greatest advocate, and a person who's been with me every step of the way since a piano recital, Senator Franken, back in the late 1950s. You didn't know I was a pianist. I wanted to bring that to your attention, sir. And that's obviously my wife, Anita. We've had quite a journey. I grew up on a dryland cotton farm 16 miles from the closest place that had a post office and a house that had just received electrification, received power from the Rural Electrification Agency, all the way to today as I'm being considered as the Secretary of Energy. with us today is also one of our pride and joys. That's our daughter and her new husband, a naval officer, Brett Harrison. I arrive at this appointment with 3 decades of experience in elected office. I was a state representative. I was the agriculture commissioner. I was a lieutenant governor, and for 14 years, the governor of the state of Texas. And during my 3.5 terms as governor, a state that created 2.2 million jobs, we added more people to our population rolls than any other state during that period of time. If it were a standalone country, it would be the 12th largest economy in the world. We're also the nation's leading energy producing state, not just in terms of oil and gas, as Senator Cornyn shared with you, but also wind energy. I have firsthand experience with the shale energy boom that revolutionized American energy with the state-led cleanup efforts to improve our environment as well. As governor, I also learned that the management skills that you gain, as Senator Manchin shared with you, Senator King, you certainly know this, and Senator Hoeven as well, of being a governor. I have the executive experience necessary for leading an organization as large as the Department of Energy. From this experience, I learned how important energy is to the American economy and the great responsibility that we have to take care of what we've been given to protect our citizens. I'm also, or I should say, if I'm so fortunate as to be confirmed, this experience will inform my priorities at the department. I'm committed to keeping Americans safe. Nuclear security is the largest portion of the Department of Energy's portfolio, its budget, if you will. I'll be focused on continuing to protect and modernize the nation's nuclear stockpile. As a former Air Force pilot during the days of the Cold War, I understand the deterrent value of our nuclear weapons system and the vital role that they play in keeping the peace. Another aspect of security is ensuring the reliability of our electric grid against cybersecurity attacks. I'm committed to undertaking enhanced security measures where necessary and assisting with recovery efforts if those are required so that Americans can depend on a stable source of power. I'll draw upon my years of experience as governor of a coastal state in organizing emergency response personnel to handle disasters effectively and efficiently. If confirmed, I will advocate and promote energy in all forms, and that certainly includes our renewables. America's been blessed with vast natural resources and the technology to utilize them. I'm committed to helping provide stable, reliable, affordable, and secure sources of American energy. And America First energy strategy is important to create jobs and to grow the economy. I'm a major proponent of maintaining American leadership in the area of scientific inquiry. I support the academic and the government mission of basic research, even when you may not see the results of that for a generation. Our scientists and our labs are the envy of the world. I look forward to visiting those labs this year, and if confirmed, learning even more about the unique work that they do. I have a strong record of aggressively courting leading scientific minds to bring innovation and job creation to my home state. Furthermore, I understand and am committed to the vital role of the Department of Energy that it maintains in environmental cleanup, specifically cleaning up nuclear waste that is the legacy of the Cold War. I have experience of dealing with the difficult challenges of transporting and storing low-level waste in my home state of Texas. I know this is a daunting task. You got 35 states that temporarily are housing waste from various nuclear programs. I look forward to working with the members of the committee to address the concerns many of you are hearing back home about nuclear waste facilities. In summary, I'm committed to modernizing our nuclear stockpile, promoting and developing American energy in all forms, advancing the department's critical science and technology mission, and carefully disposing of nuclear waste. Madam Chairwoman, if I may, in my just limited time I have left, I have a couple of other issues that I'd like to touch upon. I have learned a great deal about the important work being done every day by the outstanding men and women of the Department of Energy. I've spoken several times to Secretary Moniz about the operation. I've spoken to his predecessors. And if confirmed, my desire is to lead this agency in a thoughtful manner, surrounding myself with the expertise on the core functions of the department. My past statements, made over 5 years ago about abolishing the Department of Energy, do not reflect my current thinking. In fact, after being briefed on so many of the vital functions of the Department of Energy, I regret recommending its elimination. If confirmed, I will enter this role excited and passionate about advocating and advancing the core missions of the DOE, drawing greater attention to the vital role played by the agency and the hard-working men and women who dedicate themselves in pursuit of these missions. Second, let me speak to the issue of climate change. I believe the climate is changing. I believe some of it is naturally occurring, but some of it is caused by man-made activity. The question is how we address it in a thoughtful way that doesn't compromise economic growth. It affects the affordability of energy or American jobs. In Texas, we've got a record of taking action to address environmental challenges, including climate change. And despite this fast-growing population, and I might add one of the largest petrochemical refining industries in the world, we saw our climate and our air improve during that period of time. We reduced carbon output by 17%, sulfur dioxide by 56%, nitrogen oxide by 66%. We decommissioned 137 of these older, dirty, burning plants, Senator. I mean, we did it by using incentives to move to new technology and clean technology, such as clean coal and carbon capture and underground storage. In Houston, there's a $1 billion Petronova plant that's going to be opening soon using carbon capture sequestration. We're also using that carbon that's then injected into wells for secondary and tertiary recovery operations. I signed a law into place to retrofit some 15,000 engines under the Texas Emissions Reduction Plan, and we provided incentives for energy and efficiencies. Our willingness to develop natural gas and tap shale formations have helped not only Texas reduce its carbon footprint, but other states and Mexico as well. But we truly advocated an all-of-the-above strategy, reducing carbon emissions, not just through development of cleaner fossil fuels, but through the development of renewable resources as well. During my time as governor, Texas took the national lead in wind energy development, now produces more wind, as Senator Cornyn reminded you of, than 5 countries. When it comes to climate change, I'm committed to making decisions based on sound science that also take into account the economic impact. We need an energy policy for the 21st century that is focused on promoting American energy in all forms. I am committed to working with this committee and the incoming administration to do just that. Senators, this is an historic time for America and for the energy sector, and I would be honored to be a part of that. Thank you.